Wells Fargo Championship, Chris Trott from the TaylorMade Tour team, joined by one of my personal favourites, UK's finest, Mr. Tommy Fleetwood.
I thought you were going to say personal friends, but I thought that was too much.
It was definitely too much, right? Let's cover the what's in the bag. The gapping is what shines in this golf bag.
I've only just realised that I have numbers written on them for the lots and lies.
Is that how efficient you actually are? He's got 56.5 and 20.5 written on the underside of a Sim 2 Max 7-wood.
I have a feeling that I didn't write them, but what would that mean, Charlie? Loft and lie?
Yeah, it's loft and lie, and 20.5 would be like a 2.5 iron. So it gaps pretty good, 3 iron-ish into your 4 iron, because I know, as if I'd pre-planned it, I've just got your specs off the trailer here, my friend.
Imagine that.
22.5 on the 4 iron, and then you move into different CG in the 7.
And that's easier to hit and get in the air than a 3 iron, and out of a little bit of Bermuda rough as well. It makes it easier.
So there's our first lesson. Even the pros are transitioning and thinking about how easy these clubs are to hit. So let's peel some of these off. We've got the 5-wood Sim 2.
Just throw the head cover.
It's a signature move.
I'll throw the
You're not
head
going to
cover
throw
as
it?
well,
Yep, signature move. Okay, so we go Rocket Sim 2, then we go 5-wood Sim 2. This is Sim 2 Max. Don't worry, I've not missed out the big dog. Difference in the models, what's the thinking there? Do you know why you've gone different? I know, but do you know why you've gone Sim 2, Sim 2, Sim Max?
No.
Because we don't make this in a 7-wood and you wanted a 7-wood. That's why.
That wasn't the answer I was expecting.
I will elaborate on this. Lie angles lofts for Tommy Fleetwood is a big thing. When we test with him, we work through that and we look at it in intricate detail. Everything from his Sim 2 driver, which is playing with the Tensei K Series 70 TX, that's only going to be tip cut an inch. Everything else is tip cut a little bit more, which controls the spin rate as he goes into the bag. That shows you as a player, these boys are the hitters. We're the fitters, they're the hitters. That's why we keep it in that route. Do you like that tagline?
I'm learning a lot here, to be honest.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Then we go 4 iron, down to pitching wedge, in. As you look at these and I look at them, you think they are the TW iron. Now talk to me about what these truly are. You tell the camera what your irons truly are, because that's pretty pimping when you get...
They have a TF on them. I actually, to be fair, while we're on story time, Tiger did a clinic in Japan and they asked him about his irons and he said that I had a set before him, so they should ask me, which is actually true. But the TFs, I think they're a tiny, slightly different bit of shape, but very, very close. And I think it's the groove pattern that's the difference between mine and the TWs, and probably sales figures as well, I would say, probably have a slight difference.
Yeah. Maybe. When we look at them, the biggest thing about this set of golf clubs is they grade larger pitching wedge through to smaller long iron. Is that something you were even aware of or not? The TFs and the TWs, you get into a slightly more sleek long iron, which shows how good you are at long irons. I mean, honestly, this would make me nervous if I was going to hit this.
Makes me nervous sometimes too.
So let's talk golf shafts. You're going PX 6.5 in the irons. We've talked about his gapping down to the pitching wedge, but you do change as you get into the wedges.
Yeah, I've had these shafts in my irons since I was 14. Never changed.
You must have been a strong 14-year-old.
Yeah, I was a strong 14, either a strong 14-year-old or a weak 30-year-old. I'm not sure which one. And then I think just as I get down to these wedges, I think just the dynamic goals, they give me a tiny little bit of extra feel in the wedges, just a little bit more give. And it's just something I'm comfortable with, the flight of my wedges and everything like that. And I think these just felt, with a wedge where you're playing so many different shots, out of traps, out of rough, different feels, different shaft movements. I just think that these felt a little bit too rigid to me, and I wanted a little bit more give and a little bit of extra
feel. That'll be swing weights. We're not even going to question him on that. You know he's a player. We're not going to talk about that balance point. What I will say, you travel, and you told me this, with a few more clubs than what we're seeing in here, and then you decide on your 14. Elaborate on that for us.
Sometimes you go to the West Coast and play over there in cooler conditions. Then you go to Florida, then you're in Bermuda rough. You have majors, which are different conditions all the way through the year. And the bag setup, you want to be as simple as possible. So you want to take them everywhere, but there's always, for instance, when I play the Open, I really can't see me having a 7-wood in the bag. I'll probably have a 3 iron or a 2 iron in. You might play I might actually end up playing a shorter course like Hilton Head where I actually just kept these in, but there might be a chance to actually put an extra wedge in because you know you're going to have a few. So I think every now and again there's a little switch in something, but for the majority of the time, you know, there's a lot of big tournaments, there's, you know, a lot on the line, and you want something as constant as possible, and your bag setup is one of them.
Does this mean anything to you, insignificant, or based on you not being superstitious, can I just throw this to this kid over here and get you a new one?
Would you like the head cover? It's his birthday. Happy birthday. There you go.
Happy birthday. Let's talk about the rock roller. It's brand new.
Spud roller.
Spud roller, I like that. Spuds that roll straight. Unique alignment on the top. This is actually prototype for TaylorMade at the moment. I'm gonna let you describe it for me. What's your thoughts on it? Why do you like it?
It's a recently changed shape. You know, I putted for a long time with a blade type putter. Anytime I had a little bit of weight in the back, I struggled with rotation. This has been really good. I've changed hosel. What was the hosel called that I used?
You used a fluted hosel.
A fluted hosel. And I've used that for a long, long time. And it's funny really, like even on a putter, which is, you know, a putter really is just a lump of metal that you're hitting like most of the time, 50 foot at most. It's not like a driver where you have 300 yards of things, but the amount of comfort and shape and weight and feel and face, the amount of difference that can make is amazing really. It really, really is. And the margins are actually pretty small on a putter. So there's a lot that goes into it. This for me is a change of shaft, a change of hosel, change of head, the face, the grooves have been, I feel like the grooves have made a big difference to the roll of the ball. This has been really good so far, like a recent change, and liking it.
Let's conclude on that because you're talking about the golf ball. You got one in your pocket, hopefully. What golf ball do you play? And you said confidence is the key right here. And why number 19?
So it's the new TP5X. So I, you know, obviously when I started doing the testing and fitting and everything this year, golf ball is such a huge part of it. And I think one of the big things is how it performs in the wind. For the majority of the time, if you're playing flat calm, you can get away with most things with a golf ball. But once the wind picks up, it's it's a big part of it. But also, again, you go back to the clubs all matching from the way it feels off the putter to the way it feels around the greens to the way you're hitting a 6-iron to the way you're hitting a driver. The ball has to do it all. Yep. Like the ball has to do all of that and feel comfortable. So it's such a big thing. And for me, I've never done that much ball testing.
Yep.
I actually didn't have to use the ball this year, and when I was trying it, I thought this, it's amazing and it's worked really, really, really well. At 19, it's just been like a favourite number of mine for a long time. My date of birth is, in English terms, 19/191, which is the same backwards.
So you are superstitious?
So, oh yeah, I am.
That's going to conclude the what's in the bag. Tommy, thanks for your time. I wish you all the best this week. It's always great to hang out with you. I hope you guys learnt a few things there. Go through the details. This is what the best players in the world are doing. Try do it with your bag.